The chair was always there, right at the kitchen table, second from the window, the one that caught the morning light just a little softer than the others. People who visited the house never commented on it. They didn't have to. Some things speak louder in their absence than others do in their presence. But to Claire, the chair was never just furniture. It was him, Thomas, her husband of 43 years, and now gone. The mornings after he passed were the hardest, not because the house was loud, but because it wasn't. No coffee brewing at exactly 6:15, no newspaper rustling at the table, no quiet humming while he tried to remember where he left his glasses. Just silence and the chair. Claire would still make 2 cups of tea every morning without thinking. Then she would pause, staring at the second cup until it cooled. Habit is a cruel thing. It doesn't understand absence. One morning, her daughter came over and found her like that, standing in the kitchen, 2 cups on the table, one untouched. "Mom," she said softly, "you don't have to keep doing that." Claire gave a faint smile. "I know," but she didn't stop. Because stopping would mean admitting something final. Thomas had been a simple man in the ways that mattered most. He wasn't loud, not dramatic, not the kind of person who filled a room with himself. Instead, he filled it with steadiness. He fixed things before they broke completely. He remembered birthdays without needing reminders. He always carried groceries in on the second trip, even when he insisted he could do it all at once. And every night, he sat in that chair, reading, resting, talking about nothing and everything at the same time. That was his place. And now it was empty. Months passed. The world outside moved on, neighbors mowing lawns, seasons shifting, life insisting on continuing. Inside the house, Claire learned how to exist in quieter ways. She watered the plants he used to water. She kept his sweater on the back of the chair longer than she should have. She spoke aloud sometimes, not because she expected answers, but because silence had become too heavy to hold alone. "I saw a bluebird today," she would say. Or, "You would have complained about this weather." Or nothing at all, just his name spoken into the air like it still had somewhere to go. The chair listened, or at least it felt like it did. One afternoon, their grandson came over and found her sitting across from the empty chair, a book open but unread. "Grandma," he said gently, "why don't you sit somewhere else?" Claire looked at him for a long moment, then back at the chair. "I could," she said softly, "but that would make it feel like he never sat there at all." Her grandson didn't respond right away. He just nodded, as if he understood something he hadn't yet lived long enough to feel. Winter came slowly that year. But there came longer nights and quieter mornings. The house creaked more than it used to. Or maybe she just noticed it more now. One evening, Claire sat at the table long after dinner. The second cup of tea sat untouched again. The empty chair faced her. For the first time in months, she spoke without breaking her voice. "You know," she said softly, "I keep waiting for it to feel less strange." The room didn't answer, but she continued anyway. "I thought time would make it easier, that I'd get used to it. But I don't think that's how this works." She looked at the chair, not with sadness this time, but with something quieter, understanding. "I think I just learned how to carry it differently." That night, she did something she hadn't done in a long time. She placed both cups on the table again. But this time, she sat in her own seat, not his, not the space across from him. Her own, and she talked about small things, ordinary things, the way she used to when he was there. "I planted those flowers you liked," she said. "I finally fixed that drawer you kept needing to repair. And I think I'm starting to understand why you like sitting here so much. You could see everything from this angle." She paused, fingers resting around the warm cup, then quietly added, "I miss you, but I'm still here." The chair never moved, it never changed, it never filled itself again. But slowly, something else did. Not the absence that stayed, but the way she looked at it. It stopped being a wound she stared at every morning, and became something else. A place and time, a life that had been lived fully, a love that had not disappeared, only changed shape. Years later, people would still notice the chair when they visited, still untouched, still facing the table. But Claire no longer explained it. She didn't need to, because by then, she understood something simple, true. Some people don't leave empty spaces behind. They leave shapes in the life you continue to live. And love doesn't end at the empty chair.